Right now, you're probably sitting there thinking you know everything about air travel, but I guarantee you're making at least 3 critical mistakes that are costing you comfort, money, and maybe even your health. Picture this scenario. You're on your next flight, following the same routine you always do, completely unaware that you're setting yourself up for disaster. What I'm about to share with you isn't common knowledge. These are insider secrets that flight attendants and seasoned travelers use but rarely talk about. Research shows that 97% of passengers make these exact same errors, and by the end of this video, you'll never be one of them again. I'm going to reveal 7 game-changing travel tips that will transform your flying experience forever. But first, let me tell you why this matters more than you think. Every single day, millions of people board planes making the same preventable mistakes. Meanwhile, a small group of informed travelers glide through their journeys in comfort while everyone else suffers. The difference isn't luck or money, it's knowledge. Imagine feeling confident and prepared every time you step onto a plane, knowing exactly how to avoid the pitfalls that trap everyone else. That's exactly what you'll achieve today, and if you find this valuable, make sure to subscribe because I share insider travel secrets like this every single week. Let me start with something that might shock you. That window seat you love so much is actually working against you in ways you never imagined. Here's what the airlines don't want you to know. Window seats are significantly colder than any other seat on the plane. Picture yourself settling into that coveted window spot, excited for the view, only to spend the entire flight shivering and uncomfortable. The air outside the aircraft drops to -140 degrees Fahrenheit, and that bone-chilling cold transfers directly through the plane's walls and windows. While everyone else is comfortable in their light clothing, you're sitting there freezing because nobody warned you about this hidden reality. But here's the truth that changes everything. You don't have to choose between the view and comfort. Leading flight attendants reveal that passengers who come prepared with layers or simply request a blanket from the crew enjoy their window seat experience without the misery. Research shows that prepared travelers report significantly higher satisfaction rates with their flights. Meanwhile, unprepared passengers spend their entire journey uncomfortable and distracted from the very view they paid extra to see. The solution is embarrassingly simple, but most people discover this too late. Now let me tell you about a mistake that could literally make you sick, and thousands of passengers fall into this trap every single flight. Picture this scenario. You're settling in for a long flight, the attendant comes by with the beverage cart, and you order coffee or tea thinking it's a safe, warming choice. What you don't realize is that you might as well be playing Russian roulette with your digestive system. The water used to make hot beverages on planes comes from tanks that are rarely sanitized properly, and multiple studies have found dangerous bacteria like E. coli and staph lurking in that water. Here's what really opened my eyes to this problem. Flight attendants themselves refuse to drink the coffee and tea they serve. Think about that for a moment. The people who work on these planes every single day avoid these beverages because they know something you don't. Meanwhile, passengers continue ordering these drinks, completely unaware of the risk they're taking. On the other hand, informed travelers always request bottled water or sealed beverages, protecting themselves from potential illness while everyone else takes unnecessary chances with their health. But wait, this gets even more disturbing when you learn about the filthiest spots on the entire aircraft, and I guarantee they're not what you're thinking. Most people assume the bathroom is the dirtiest area, so they avoid it like the plague while touching surfaces that are actually crawling with germs. Research shows that tray tables and seat back pockets harbor more bacteria than airplane toilets, yet passengers handle them constantly without a second thought. Picture yourself putting your food directly on a tray table where the previous passenger might have changed their baby's diaper. Yes, flight attendants confirm this actually happens. Those innocent-looking seatback pockets are even worse, filled with used tissues, food wrappers, and random debris from hundreds of previous passengers. Imagine feeling around in that pocket for your headphones, unknowingly exposing yourself to whatever the last person left behind. Meanwhile, savvy travelers always carry disinfectant wipes and never put food directly on surfaces, protecting themselves while others remain completely vulnerable. The solution is simple, but most women discover this reality only after they've already been exposed. Now here's a timing secret that could save your entire trip, and it's so obvious that most people completely overlook it. Every experienced traveler knows this rule, but somehow it never gets shared with casual flyers who need it most. If you have any choice in your departure time, always book the earliest morning flight possible. Picture this. You're at the airport for a noon departure, confident in your timing, only to discover that delays have been stacking up all morning like dominoes falling in sequence. Here's what happens behind the scenes that airlines rarely explain. Delays create a ripple effect throughout the entire day, and morning flights escape this chaos completely. Research shows that flights departing before 10 a.m. have significantly lower delay rates than later flights. On the other hand, afternoon and evening flights get caught in a web of cascading problems that started hours earlier. Meanwhile, early morning flights also encounter less turbulence because atmospheric conditions are typically calmer, giving you a smoother ride while later passengers endure bumpy conditions. But here's where most people get airline service completely backwards, and this mistake costs them comfort throughout their entire flight. Everyone fights for seats at the front of the plane, thinking they'll get better treatment, but research shows the opposite is actually true. Picture yourself sitting in the back section, initially disappointed about your seat location, only to discover that the flight crew treats you better than passengers in premium locations. Flight attendants reveal that they can offer extras more discreetly to passengers in the back because there's less scrutiny and expectation. Meanwhile, passengers in front sections get standardized service because crew members can't show favoritism where everyone can see. This means extra snacks, drinks, blankets, and attention flow naturally to back section passengers who understand this insider secret. On the other hand, front section passengers pay more for their seats, but actually receive less personalized attention throughout their journey. Here's a comfort mistake that could literally cause your travel pillow to explode, and I'm not exaggerating about this danger. Thousands of travelers make this error because they don't understand how cabin pressure affects inflatable items during flight. Picture yourself inflating your neck pillow to maximum capacity before takeoff, thinking more air means more comfort, only to have it burst or become painfully rigid as the plane climbs. Cabin pressure changes dramatically during flight, and overinflated pillows can't accommodate these shifts without becoming dangerous or uncomfortable. Leading travel experts recommend inflating pillows to only 70% capacity, leaving room for pressure expansion. Meanwhile, passengers who ignore this advice spend their flights with pillows that are either too hard, too soft, or completely unusable. Research shows that properly inflated pillows maintain optimal comfort throughout entire flights, while overinflated ones cause neck strain and disrupted sleep. Now let me reveal a food secret that instantly upgrades your entire dining experience without costing you a single extra penny. Most passengers simply accept whatever standard meal option the airline offers, never realizing they're missing out on significantly better food that's available for free. Picture yourself enjoying a fresh, flavorful meal while passengers around you struggle with bland, reheated standard options. Here's the insider trick that thousands of frequent flyers use but rarely share. You can request special meals like vegetarian, kosher, gluten-free, or seafood options during online check-in, regardless of whether you actually have dietary restrictions. These meals are typically fresher, more flavorful, and served before standard meals, giving you priority service and better food quality. Research shows that special meals often use higher quality ingredients and preparation methods compared to mass-produced standard options. Meanwhile, passengers who don't know this secret settle for whatever's left after meal service, often receiving the least appetizing options available. On the other hand, informed travelers enjoy restaurant-quality meals at 30,000 feet, while everyone else endures airplane food stereotypes. The best part is that this upgrade costs absolutely nothing and takes 30 seconds to request during check-in. But here's something about flying that most people get completely wrong, and this mistake affects both your health and comfort throughout the entire journey. You're probably thinking that shorts are the most comfortable choice for long flights, especially during summer travel, but this decision could expose you to serious hygiene risks that you never considered. Picture yourself settling into your seat wearing shorts, your bare skin making direct contact with fabric that hundreds of other passengers have touched. Research shows that airline seats harbor bacteria and residue from countless previous passengers, and most airlines don't deep clean between flights. Meanwhile, experienced travelers always wear long pants, creating a protective barrier between their skin and potentially contaminated surfaces. This isn't just about cleanliness. Cabin temperatures can drop unexpectedly during flight, leaving passengers in shorts shivering, while others remain comfortable. Flight attendants consistently recommend full-length clothing for international travel, not just for hygiene, but for adaptability to changing conditions. On the other hand, passengers in shorts often struggle with temperature fluctuations and unknowingly expose themselves to whatever the previous passenger left behind on their seat. Here's a final tip that separates prepared travelers from everyone else, and it's so simple that you'll wonder why more people don't do this. International flights require customs forms, immigration documents, and various paperwork, yet most passengers arrive completely unprepared for this reality. Picture the chaos at customs when hundreds of passengers realize they need pens simultaneously, creating delays and frustration that could easily be avoided. Seasoned travelers always carry their own pen, completing required paperwork during flight, while others scramble around asking strangers for writing instruments. This small preparation step saves significant time and stress during what's already a challenging part of travel. Meanwhile, unprepared passengers waste precious time hunting for pens when they should be moving efficiently through customs and immigration. Research shows that having proper documentation ready and completed reduces processing time and creates a smoother arrival experience. Flight attendants report that pen requests are among the most common passenger needs, yet it's completely preventable with minimal planning. The truth is that most travelers approach flying with outdated assumptions and incomplete information, making their journeys more difficult than necessary. But armed with these insider secrets, you'll glide through your travel experience while others struggle with preventable problems. Every single one of these tips comes from real-world experience and professional insights that most passengers never access. What separates successful travelers from everyone else isn't luck or special treatment, it's knowledge and preparation. You now possess information that puts you in the top 3% of informed flyers, giving you advantages that most people will never discover. Remember, these aren't complex strategies that require special skills. They're simple adjustments that create dramatic improvements in your travel experience. If you found these secrets valuable and want more insider travel knowledge that most people never learn, make sure to subscribe and hit that notification bell. I regularly share professional travel insights that can transform your journeys from stressful ordeals into smooth, comfortable experiences. Your next flight will prove just how powerful this knowledge really is.